Yet another proposed change to Social Security. This one, though, addressing a pain point, not addressing the insolvency. I think you're going to like it. I kind of like it as well. I just wouldn't recommend it. What's that proposed change, and how should you be planning ahead? I've got that more coming up. Obviously, changes are coming to Social Security. We don't know when, we don't know exactly what change, and that leads many people to not plan ahead. Or if the plan ahead is really just to think ahead. As soon as I am able to turn on my Social Security, I'm going to do that because I know it's going to change. I don't know when. I want to take control. And I get all of that. However, it is possible for you to be planning ahead in the face of the uncertainty. And let me tell you, that planning ahead is actually going to give you more confidence and more assurance and make you more prepared no matter what the changes are. I've done a few videos recently about some of the proposed changes, the 6-figure limit, which I actually like as well. You're going to want to build some of that into your planning to see if there's any cuts related to that, as well as the Penn-Wharton budget model and what that is not proposing, but the scenario of potential cuts that is framing. I would be aware of those. So watch those videos and then be working with your certified financial planner to explore, well, how can you prepare? How do you adjust your 5-factor retirement plan so that you know what adjustments you need to make and so that you can plan ahead? We don't know when Social Security is going to change. We don't know exactly how, but you should be planning ahead. Now, getting back to the approach most people are taking and really have taken with Social Security from the beginning is, well, as soon as I can collect Social Security, I'm going to turn it on. This recent bill actually helps remove the major obstacle that people face when answering that question. And that is, if you are going to be turning on your Social Security younger, before your full retirement age. This used to be age 65. They've been cascading it up to age 67. For most people, it is now age 67. That's your full retirement age. There's a penalty. If you turn on your Social Security before age 67 and you're continuing to work, you could see your Social Security not just be taxable, but could be penalized away. Does that mean that you can't work at all while drawing Social Security? No, that's not true. You can work and earn in 2026 below $24,480 a year. If you earn below that amount and collect your Social Security, absolutely no penalty, just fine. You might still be paying tax on your Social Security. You're going to want to analyze your entire tax picture to see if your Social Security would be taxable, but it wouldn't be penalized in that scenario. And then the second reason why I would answer, well, can you work and draw Social Security at the same time? Yeah, you absolutely can, is once you turn your full retirement age 67, well, then you can earn as much as you want. That limit no longer applies. By the way, in the year that you turn on Social Security, that $24,480 becomes a monthly number, okay? And the year that you reach your full retirement age, those numbers change and shift as well. Now, all of that backdrop to this change. There is a bill being floated around right now that actually would get rid of the penalty of working and earning too much while collecting your Social Security. Now, I haven't done a full analysis on this. I'm trying to piece through why would they propose this, because in the articles and the analysis that I'm reading, it suggests that that could actually make the insolvency problem worse, because I do think a lot of people right now who are at age 62 or beyond, or maybe close to that, if they still want to work or still need that earned income, they're sort of, I don't want to pay a penalty on my Social Security, and therefore I'm not going to collect. Well, if this bill were to pass and they remove the penalty, I think a lot more people would say, okay, sign me up. I'm going to keep working, but I'm going to start collecting my Social Security. That could make the insolvency issue worse. But despite what it may do with insolvency, do I like it? I do like it. It is frustrating that if you want to work and draw your Social Security at the same time, you need to be very careful and stay, a dollar below this limit. If you're a dollar above, you start getting penalized and blah, blah, blah. I don't like that. I think that creates confusion for folks in retirement, and it's an obstacle that, yeah, I would love if they got rid of that penalty. However, I wouldn't recommend it. If they remove this penalty, I wouldn't recommend that all of a sudden, well, then you turn on your Social Security right at 62. Why? Early on, this is a couple decades ago, wrote an article, blog post, one of the first blog posts here at KFG, and I titled it Oedipus and Social Security. I have no idea if you remember this ancient story, but Oedipus heard a prophecy and was so petrified, mortified about this prophecy that he learned about himself, he ran away. And by running away, he led himself right down the path to fulfill the prophecy. I think with Social Security, many people say, I don't know how long I'm going to live. I don't know how long my Social Security, how long Social Security will be around. And I want to make sure that I get the most out of Social Security. So I'm going to draw as soon as I possibly can. And in doing so, end up collecting a lower amount because they draw earlier and they'd get a reduced benefit. They'd get a reduced amount of Social Security, and therefore over their lifetime actually end up collecting less in Social Security than they otherwise would. Now, you don't know, you're not promised tomorrow. And that is the emotional trigger, and that is something that you've got to work through with your certified financial planner. It doesn't make sense for everyone to delay. For many people, it does make sense to draw immediately. However, I think removing the penalty, I would not say, well, then everyone should draw immediately. I don't want you to permanently reduce your Social Security unless that is in your best interest and makes sense to your overall financial plan. Therefore, if this bill does pass, I would still say you've got to optimize Social Security. Work with your certified financial planner and lay out those different scenarios. Okay, if you draw immediately at 62, but keep working, here's what your Social Security benefit will be reduced to. Here's what it will be. Here's the lifetime benefit that you'll receive. However, if you delay a couple of years and keep working, but you let your Social Security grow and don't draw from it, then here's what your Social Security would be at 64, or here's what it would be at your retirement. And you can calculate out, still without knowing exactly what the future is, but you can calculate out, well, what are your range of choices and what would be the optimal choice for your unique situation. Where you factor in your marital status or whether you've ever been married, where you factor in how long you're planning on living, where you factor in how much assets you have, and really would it make sense to draw down some, or no, does it make sense to start Social Security and build those dollars up or keep them protected, your health history, everything you're going to want to factor in working with your certified financial planner so you can optimize Social Security, make a great choice in a range of good choices. Personally, don't think this bill is going to get passed simply because the threat of insolvency. I think this makes that even more of a risk, and solving Social Security insolvency doesn't seem very urgent right now by the administration. That is shocking to me. But so I don't know if this bill will pass. However, you can still work with your CFP right now to start optimizing your choice on Social Security. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.